Here's my question for you this morning. What did the Unitarian Universalist say to the hot dog vendor? Make me one with everything. In essence, that's what Unitarian Universalism means. It means to recognize that we are one with everything. Uni means one, the root of unit, and unite, unity, and Unitarian and Universalist. And to be a Unitarian or a Universalist or a Unitarian Universalist means to claim an essential oneness with all of life. It means that we are one with the blowing clover and the falling rain. It means that we are one with the shimmering stars and the circling planets. It means that we are one with all the creatures of earth and sky, and it means that we are one with each other and one with the eternal. Probably the most famous Unitarian minister in the 20th century, A. Powell Davies, who served All Souls Unitarian Church in Washington, D.C., asked in one of his sermons, "Do you belong to a religion that says humankind is not divided except by ignorance and prejudice and hate? The religion that sees humankind as naturally one and waiting to be spiritually united? The religion that proclaims an end to all exclusions and declares a brotherhood and sisterhood unbounded? The religion that knows that we shall never find the fullness and the wonder and the glory of life until we are ready to share it? That we shall never have hearts big enough for the love of God until we've made them big enough for the worldwide love of one another." That's what a Unitarian is. And I'm going to start just saying Unitarian and not say Unitarian and Universalist or Unitarian Universalist from this point forward. But I'm talking about all of those in this sermon. It's someone who affirms that we are one with everything and with everyone with no exceptions. That's why a Unitarian says, "Make me one with everything," and not only when ordering a hot dog. And in fact, it's not that we need to be made one with everything, it's that we are already one with everything. We just need to learn how to fully embrace and celebrate that oneness. Now, I realize that this is an incredibly simple and yet totally profound idea, and that it's a very old and historic idea. This isn't some feel-good notion that someone discovered on the side of the box of some herbal tea somewhere. Although you might have found something that said something similar there. But this goes back thousands of years. In the Eastern religions, the idea of an essential oneness of all creation and all existence goes back to the Vedas of India, which are among the oldest recorded scriptures known. Now, and in the Western traditions, we see the roots in Judaism and Christianity. With Judaism, we see the birth of monotheism, or the idea of a universal God. Before that, every tribe had their own God that they prayed to, and there was this idea that my God is stronger than your God. And humanity was a lot like children on the playground today who argue, my daddy can beat up your daddy. Except in this case, it was my God can beat up your God. And the gods were fighting, and so were the people. And when one tribe conquered another, there was the idea that their God was stronger and better and more true. And people have been killing each other in the name of God ever since. But Judaism eventually proposed that there were not really multiple gods all fighting each other, but one universal God of all humanity that cared about the justice and well-being of all, including the widows, the orphans, the prisoners, and those left out and left behind. Judaism proposed that we are all essentially brothers and sisters, created in the image of one Creator God. Now, with Jesus, who was born and died a Jew 2,000 years ago, we've seen the beginning of Christianity, which teaches that all people are brothers and sisters as well. However, even the teachings of Jesus and the apostles have been used over the years to endorse such divisive and degrading institutions as slavery and segregation, used to incite the killing of Jews and Muslims and women as witches over the years. So the belief that we're all brothers and sisters is not enough in and of itself to unify the family of humanity. The dominant denominations of Christianity today continue to divide people. Not all the denominations, but the dominant denominations continue to divide people by endorsing men's superiority over women, discriminating against people who love people of the same gender, and by promoting prejudice towards other religions and beliefs. Now, my point here is not to disparage anybody else's religion. It always feels uncomfortable to even raise such a topic in polite company like this. But I believe that if the official representatives of any one of the three major Christian denominations in the world, the Catholics, the Baptists, or the Evangelicals, were here, they would openly explain without apology their understanding of God and doctrine and church policy, which includes a hierarchical relationship between men and women inside and outside of the church. That's just the way the world is from that worldview. The sinfulness and the immortality of people loving people of other genders. That's just the way that it's taught. And the belief that other religions, while they may not be dangerous, are certainly false and misguided and not the true work of God. My point is that even Christians and others who also believe in the unity of the human family are promoting a very specific kind of unity. It's unity that is thought to come from conformity to their particular beliefs. In other words, it is a unity that requires all gay people to become straight or celibate, requires women to know and accept their place, and requires that everyone believe what these believers believe. And in fact, that would be a form of unity, but not the one that we celebrate here. The other irony is that even if all of the world became Christian, it would still most likely be divided by denominations and practices. The divisions within the body of Christianity are quite extreme too, with one group sometimes calling the other group heretics or even agents of the devil. We have to look no further than our own local newspaper here in Tulsa to see paid ads by one church explaining that the use of instruments in worship is an abomination to God. And on television, we can still occasionally hear a televangelist refer to the Pope as the evil beast in the book of Revelation. So even if we try to teach the whole world to sing in perfect Christian harmony, we'll still probably be divided into camps and have hierarchies of believers. Now, it certainly seems like a crazy way for God to run a universe. I say all this to explain that the idea of the ideas of Unitarianism were born of this Jewish and Christian heritage. But the Unitarians have a very different approach to the unity of humanity. And our approach is different from that of any of the fundamentalists or conservatives or orthodox religions around the world. Fundamentalists of all kinds, be it Muslim, Hindu, Jew, or whoever, believe that their religion is the one true and correct faith. And that ultimately and ideally, everyone should come to know the truth as they know it. Now, underneath this belief is a common understanding that the human family is one. But for fundamentalists, unity comes through uniformity to their particular beliefs and practices. Unitarians, on the other hand, believe that the human family is one, but that our unity will not come from uniformity, but from learning to understand and appreciate each other in our blessed diversity.